What's going on, guys? This is Real Estate Q&A Sessions week 84. 84 weeks of doing this each and every Thursday. Welcome. Appreciate you guys for showing up. As always, again, this is week 84 of Real Estate Q&A Sessions, where you guys can come and ask anything, everything real estate related, and I will do my best to answer. This is the week after Thanksgiving, week 84. I think we have 15 more weeks left until we get to 100. The goal has been to get to 100. Well, first the goal was to do 1, and then the goal went from 1 to doing 50. And after 50, I was like, well, I might as well keep going to 100. So we're almost there. Again, consistency is key. That's what I bring. I am very proud of myself and you guys for showing up each and every week, 84 weeks straight. That's over a year of doing this, over a year and a half of doing this. And I can't, it's always been good. So I appreciate you guys. I just want to let you guys know that. Appreciate you. So yeah, like I said, I do this every single week. You guys can come here, ask anything, everything real estate related. Doesn't matter whether you're trying to buy your first house, your 10th house, whether you're dealing with contractors, trying to figure out loans, rental properties, flips, the agent side of things. I've done pretty much most of all of that. I'm also a general contractor with a company, a new company. So yes, we do everything here. Disclaimers, as always, guys, I am not a guru. I just know a little bit more than the average Joe. So you can take my advice with a grain of salt, or you can not listen to it at all. Completely up to you. But I am out here in these streets. Every single day doing this stuff. So you're not dealing with somebody that doesn't know anything, or is just trying to tell y'all whatever I read off the internet. And most of everything that I give you guys is strictly based off experience. I've either done it or been around it, or actively working on it. So that's the disclaimers. Housekeeping rules, as always, guys. If you haven't done so, if you get value out of this each and every week, how can you repay me? I don't want your money. Don't ask y'all for money. Don't ask y'all for your email addresses and spam y'all. I don't do any of that stuff, right? What I do ask of you guys is if you would like to screenshot, post it to your story, let folks know what we're doing each and every week, because that is how we get more people in here, right? Now, I'm not looking to have 100,000 people in here, 50, whatever, right? Even if it's just one person, I'm okay with that, right? But if you get value, screenshot, post it to your story, let folks know what we're doing. I don't want to be on your feed. When you show other people what we're doing each and every week, they come in, they ask questions that you might have thought to not ask, and therefore you get some value. So there it is. There's what we got. A couple people popped in already. Just Jim _ what's going on? Ali, what's good, brother? What's good? Sanella _ Chan, how you doing? Ali says, good afternoon, bro. Congratulations on the achievements. Thank you. Hey, listen, I tend to not think about all of that stuff on a daily basis, because everything's moving so fast. But yeah, I've done a decent amount of things, and so I appreciate acknowledgement. Thank you for your time, info, and time. Yeah, man, this is what I do. This is how I give back, right? Community service, I like to say. But no, like for real. I remember when I didn't have somebody that would give me this kind of information willingly and freely every week, to where I can ask anything without me having to pay for it, whether it was pay them for that information or whether it was pay through learning a hard lesson. So I've had to do both. I've had to pay for information, and I've also had to pay for learning lessons. So this is something that I would have taken advantage of, when I was starting out, right? I didn't have that resource, right? And so, yeah, so this is why I do that, because I know you guys are trying to do what you guys do, whether you haven't done anything or whether you've done a little bit of something and you want to expand or do more. I can kind of talk and help you guys out through that process to where you're not spending a boatload of money on a course or whatever. here's the other thing about courses and coaching and stuff like that, right? Some lessons and some things you learn or need to learn in this game, you can't pay for. Well, yeah, you can't pay for. You actually have to go out and do it or experience it and get those lessons. And sometimes paying for it comes at the cost of you losing, right? The biggest lessons, the best lessons I've ever learned, a lot of this experience I've learned is by losing money. It's just the nature of the game, right? I hate, what is this glare? Keep doing. Oh my gosh, this glare is pretty horrible. But yeah, so the biggest lessons I've ever learned has always been through losing money, right? I've paid for a course. I've been in a program that was years ago, and it was quite expensive at the time. Not really now, but you see where I'm going with this? I had to pay for that knowledge, that information out of somebody else. That's why this is great, because I do this for free. You guys can come here, ask anything, everything real estate related, and I will answer it. Not asking for no money. You know what I mean? Verlicious. Hello. If this is your first time, welcome. Appreciate you popping in here. This is Real Estate Q&A session where you come ask anything, everything real estate related, investing, contractors, whatever the case may be. This is where you can come and ask those questions. Ali's got some questions. Lady_Reds, what's good, fam? What's good? Appreciate you popping in here. Ali says, I wanted to ask you, with my contractor, we signed a contract for a 223 level townhouse. We signed a contract with a start date but no end date. Verbally, we spoke that the job would be completed in 8 weeks. Today, we are almost done with the work. Maybe another month left, but we have gone over on time and budget. Yes. So, in their contract. So, what is your... Okay, so how do I negotiate the original contract based on timing? So, normally... So, I've been through this before, where you set a specific price on what work is supposed to be done, right? So if you're hiring a contractor for a job and he's supposed to do 10 things or 20 things, and it's supposed to take, a month or 4 weeks or whatever the case may be, right? Especially these longer projects where these guys are on the hook for a lot of different things. Yes, you want to put in a completion, you want to put in like a completion clause, right? Basically where you're saying, hey, as long as I'm not holding the process up, or there's any unforeseen circumstances that's going to hold the job up, your responsibility as the contractor, when we sign this contract, is you're going to get the job done within this time constraint. If we get to the last day and there's stuff that's not done, what you should do is institute a, how do I call it? You want to institute something where they have to pay you every day. It's a penalty, a $50 penalty a day, a $75 penalty a day, $100, whatever the case may be, right? Because if you own the house, you're trying to get it renovated, it costs you money every day. You're paying it a mortgage, or you're paying an interest fee, an interest-only fee based on, if you're using hard money or whatever. It costs you money every day. So if your mortgage is, $1,000, divide 1,000 by 30. That's how much, 30 days in a month. Whatever that number is what it costs you to own that house for that day, right? And so if you are trying to get this house renovated to get tenants in place, right? You're losing money until you put a tenant in place, or until you sell that house, right? Once the tenant gets in, they pay the rent, you get profit. You sell the house, you get profit. But every day you hold that property, you're losing money. So what you should do is, if the contractor is going over the time frame, he's costing you money. He's costing you money at that point in time. So whatever your mortgage is, or whatever it costs you to have own that property for that day, right? Remember I said take the mortgage or your monthly payment and divide it by 30, right? Might be $30 or $50, whatever it is, right? Charge him that, right? Every day late that he is on that time within that time frame. So if he goes over, and let's say he's got a week, he says I can get it done in a week after the time frame has been exhausted. All right, that's fine. But in the contract, I'm charging you $100 a day. So if you're supposed to get paid XYZ at the end, I'm docking $100 a day off of that pay, off of that final payment until the job is complete, because it costs us money to hold these properties. We are the ones that bear the brunt when things go over, not them. Because even when contractors finish the job and they're a week, 2 weeks, a month, over the time frame, they're still going to want their full payment. They doesn't matter to them, right? They still get the full payment, right? I'm having horrible connection issues right now. But yeah, you're losing at the end of the day. So how do you prevent that and hold them accountable, right? You institute that penalty. Every day late that you are after the time frame that we agreed to in this contract, I'm docking $75. I'm charging you $75. Can y'all hear me now? Hello? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? Hello? Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Well, that sucks. Damn. Well. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs down if you can't hear me. Thumbs up? Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So, all right. So, I forgot where I was at. Let me see. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, finishing up what Ali was talking about. Yeah, institute that, okay, great. Institute that daily penalty, right? Cause that's going to basically let them know, hey, I don't have all day and all, to get this job done, right? I have 3 months, right? Now I can show up every day and get it done in a month and a half, or I can get it done, whenever. But I also know that if I take time off the job and I don't get it finished, it's going to cost me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I signed their contract. It's not in writing. How can I do it now after the fact? Well, I'll make one more tidbit, right? So one other thing you should also institute into that contract is, look, like a early completion incentive as well, right? So you say, look, if I give you 4 weeks or whatever to do this job and you get it done sooner, I will give you a bonus or whatever the case may be, right? And that is going to incentivize them. Hey, let's get it done quicker so we can get this bonus, right? You figure out the bonus. But yeah, so Ali says, yeah, I signed the contract. It's not in writing. How can I do it now after the fact? I've spoken to them multiple times and they were shorthanded, car accident, but they're good in quality and how they do their work. Yeah, it sounds pretty normal for contractor excuses. All right, so after the fact, I'm gonna let you know you can't. I mean, after the fact is you guys already have an agreement, right? You guys already have an agreement. It's gonna be hard to hold them accountable now that the contract signed, you're already past the due date, right? So if you haven't made your final payment yet, use that. That's your leverage, right? If you overpay, right? If you overpay your contractors, right? Meaning that you're paying them for work, you're paying them for work that's not completed, right? So if you have a timeline of stuff that's supposed to get done, right? And they are supposed to do X, Y, and Z, right? X, Y, Z, a whole bunch of things, right? And you pay them a half up front before they even get done with half the work. Well, they have the leverage. You don't. So they can slow roll it however they please, right? Because they just got their money, right? Why do we work? We work to get money, right? And if I know that my client's not going to pay until I hit certain completion points and things are complete, then I'm going to make sure I get that stuff done, because getting that stuff done is going to dictate whether I get paid or not, right? And so if you pay them before there's if you pay them before they're supposed to be completed, they have the leverage. You want to maintain leverage. You never want to let them get ahead of you, ahead of payments, right? That last payment, you shouldn't be paying that last payment until everything's complete. So if you don't have anything else in your contract to hold them accountable from a timeline perspective, and I see you, Sneaker Fiend, then that last payment should be what is your last little dangling carrot. All right, guys, that's great, right? We're over time limit. You're over time limit. I need you guys to come complete this, right? You're not complete. I'm not giving you another payment until that work is completed, right? And if you guys don't want to come back and work on a consistent basis to get the job complete, we're going to omit this last payment, and I'm going to go use it to go pay somebody else. Simple, right? It's not simple, but again, this is things that you're going to have to deal with, right? If guys are slow rolling, you're over your time limit, you're over budget, yeah, tell them don't make that final payment until everything is complete, right? Hey guys, I'm not giving you no more money until you guys complete the job, right? And if you can't come if you can't come and start work on this day and complete, and work every day to get this done, then I'm gonna bring somebody else in here. Tell me a date in which you can start. Tell me a date in which you can come back and start and complete the job, right? And if you're not able to come back and complete this job and start working every single day to get it done, then I'm gonna hire somebody else. Don't worry about the final payment. That's how you handle that. You gotta maintain leverage. When you overpay or you pay ahead and you let the contractor get ahead, you have no more leverage. They can come whatever they want, and you're the one sweating them. You want them sweating you, right? Well, you get what I'm saying. You want them to sweat you. Hey, I'm trying to get this last payment. When do I need to come by? I need to fix this. That's how you want it to be, right? So yeah. So Sneaker Fiend says, so I hope that helped, Ali. Look, give me a thumbs up if it did. Sneaker Fiend's got a question. What's going on, Mike Allen? Who else popped in here? DJ, MT, what's good? DeWatt, what's up? Kenneth, what's good? A couple of y'all popped in here. Guys, appreciate you popping in here. This is Real Estate Q&A session, week 84. A couple questions. So Sneaker Fiend says, how can I scale my portfolio? I have one property. How can I leverage it to get another one? A couple ways you can do that. This connection is trash. So anyway, Sneaker Fiend wants to know about scaling her portfolio and trying to build pretty much a rental empire, right? So what you can do, because I think you bought the first property via FHA. I told you guys about FHA. It's hard to scale with FHA because it's a bank loan, for one, and two, if you were to use another FHA property, you have to wait at least a year in order to utilize another FHA product. And also that next property you look for has to be considered bigger, better, and I think there is a distance requirement from the other property that it has to be in order to utilize that FHA loan. So scaling using bank loans is going to be a little bit more difficult. Now you could go with the conventional product, but you got to put down to 20%. If you got the big bucks, you can go buy another loan. You can go buy another house with a conventional loan, tomorrow if you wanted to. But again, you're going to run into the same constraints of scaling, right? It's tough. 20% down on a property is a lot of money. So if you're buying a $100,000 house, you're putting 20% down, that's $20,000. That's a lot of money, right? So again, thinking scale, you can scale, but it's going to be a little bit slower, and it's going to cost a lot more upfront money to do that, right? What's another way? Same way I go about my properties is hard money. Hard money enables me to scale very quickly, and scale my portfolio at a quick rate, versus using bank loans, right? So when you're using bank loans, they're looking at that debt to income ratio. They're looking at your credit, all that kind of stuff. Whether you got a W-2 job, that takes it takes a lot, right? And so when you're utilizing hard money, you can essentially, as long as you have some money in the bank, you got decent credit, a lender is going to lend to you, right? That's their job. Their job is not to hoard money. Their job is to disseminate that money out in the streets and get a return for their investors, right? And so hard money is the best way, in my opinion, to scale quickly a rental portfolio. So now that you have your FHA loan, right? Your product through a FHA, your house through a FHA product. That's how I started, right? I had an FHA loan for my first house. Second house, guess what? Hard money. Hard money. Also, while you're utilizing that hard money loan, it does not show up on your credit as a loan, right? So where your home loan is right now, it shows up, you owe it. It shows up in your credit reports, right? You owe 150, 200, whatever the case may be. Hard money loans don't show up on your credit until you, if you're doing rentals, until you refinance into a long-term product. That's when it shows up, right? So there's some benefits to hard money. That's what I would do. That's how I've done it. And when you talk about leveraging that property, the FHA property right now you have, from a leverage perspective, probably not much you can do right now, because if you use FHA, you probably have a very good interest rate. And in order to refinance, it probably wouldn't make any sense to refinance that property, because you already probably have a low interest rate, and you might not even have enough equity in the house yet, right? And so you kind of want to wait on that with that FHA product, not FHA product, but that house that you bought with the FHA loan. Hard money, you can go get a hard money loan tomorrow, as long as you have a deal, right? I already told you guys about finding hard money lenders. There are plenty of them in your area. Go to Facebook, look in your Facebook groups, investment groups, real estate investment groups are all in there. They want your business. They're looking for people that want to do deals. Trust me, right? Link up with one. Basically let them know what you're trying to do, right? Kind of feel them out, interview, whatever, figure out their rates, their terms. And then when it's time, right? Because you don't waste their time. A lot of people go to hard money lenders and waste their time and don't even have a deal. Hard money lenders want to know if you got a deal or not, right? So you introduce yourself, you guys exchange information, you figure out their terms. If their terms are favorable, right, you say, look, I'm going to come back and holler at you when I have a deal. When you have a deal, you call them up, they already know who you are, and then you guys do the dance. So yeah, that's how you can do it. And when you talk about rentals with hard money lending, look up BRRRR strategy. Keep telling you guys, BRRRR, BRRRR strategy, right? So you buy a property with a hard money loan, you fix it up, you rent it out, and then you refinance it. And once you you have to refinance, because that hard money loan is a short-term loan. It's just a bridge loan. It gets you from point A to point B. That hard money loan basically just gets you a property. It's only 6 months to 12 months, right? So you have to get out of that loan. How do you get out of that loan? You refinance it. When you refinance, if you did the BRRRR strategy right, you can pull cash out of that house. So if you bought a rental property for $100,000, actually I'll give you better numbers. If you bought a property for $80,000 and you put $20,000 in utilizing this hard money loan, you're all in at 100, right? Most hard money lenders are going to be anywhere between 70 and 80%. They'll lend up to 70 or 80% of the appraised value of the house, right? So you took a house you bought it for 80, and let's say it was worth 120 at the time, right? Before you put the upgrades into it. You spent $20,000, and that value, when you go to refinance it, now is, let's just say, $175,000. When it gets appraised for that refinance, you've brought the value from 120 to $175,000, right? That's what it's worth when they appraise it. The hard money lender, when you refinance it with the long-term bank, they're going to give you up to 75%, 70 to 80%. Let's just say 75, right? So what's 75% of $175,000? I don't do math on air, but it's probably going to be around $128,000 or something like that, right? Then you have to factor in the closing costs. Your closing costs are probably going to be around $10K, right? So you take that, you don't pay that closing cost out of your pocket. That comes out of your proceeds. So if they're lending up to 75% and your value is at 175, 75% of 175 is 128, I believe. The difference is what you can essentially pull out of the house of your all-in cost. So your all-in is $100,000. They're lending up to 75%, which is 128. What's the difference between 128 and 100? $28,000, right? You have to pay closing costs when you refinance. So let's just say closing costs are $10,000. That now brings your profit to $18,000, which you can essentially pull out of the house, right? That's money you can use that you just made, and you can go disseminate it and buy another house, put it in your pocket, whatever. You just made money off of your rental property. All right, you just essentially just created cash out of thin air. All right, run through the numbers one more time. You bought it for 80. You bought it for 80, and it was valued at 120. You put $20,000 into it and upgraded it, and now your all-in cost is $100,000. You brought that value from $120,000 all the way up to $175,000 when you went to go get it refinanced, and they appraised it. It appraised for $175,000. That lender is going to give you up to 70 to 80% of that overall value. So what's 75% of 175? It's about 128, right? So your profit is going to be $28,000. When you go to close, you have to pay closing costs. That closing cost, let's just say, is $10,000. That brings your profit from $28,000 to $18,000. So between 100 and 118, that's your profit. That's what you can essentially pull out of the house. Equity. That's equity you can pull out of the house. And now when you close, you now have a rental property that's producing income that you get to keep. That is now that went from a 6 to 12 month loan. Now it's in a 30-year mortgage. And you get to keep this property, and you pulled some equity out, $18,000, and you cashed out and you made some money. That's how you do this thing. And you do it over and over and over again. You make money on the buy, right? So I hope that helped. That was a pretty long explanation. Real Estate Stace, what's going on? Appreciate you popping in here. Ali says, thank you, great info and guidance. Yeah, no problem, brother. Oh my gosh. Who is this? Rashaad Draco, what's going on? Devontae, what's good? Asiato, what's going on, brother? Stinkfish says, yes, sir, appreciate it. Yes, that is what you got to do. Appreciate you guys for popping in here, some of the new cats. If you guys haven't been here before, this is Real Estate Q&A session week 84. Give you guys game for the free ski. All free game. Ask anything you guys see. There's a couple questions that we asked, that we answered already. Very good questions. These are the questions that you guys should be asking, right? Because I know this stuff pops up in your mind throughout the week or random times, and you're trying to figure out how can I scale? How can I do this, or how can I manage my contractors better? This is where you come and ask those questions, basically for free. Been doing this for 84 weeks straight. Haven't missed a damn week. Rashaad Draco, I hope I'm saying that correct, has a question. I don't know much about real estate, but I've been following you for a while, and I love to support and tune in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Because at the end of the day, I do this for y'all, right? I'm not the biggest poster. I don't post a lot of the inner workings of everything I do, but I try to make this something consistent, and I try to show y'all at least some stuff. And so when you guys see these things and I post whatever I post, and you guys show love like that, I appreciate that, because that lets me know that, I'm doing some good and people are watching, and, they can get motivation and be inspired, whatever the case may be. Those words are appreciated, especially since you tuned in here. Not only did you take the time to tune in here during your busy schedule, but you also took the time to type that out. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm 20 years old in college. What can I do right now to set myself up for success in the near future? Well, there's a lot of different things you can do. 20 years old in college, for me, was 10 years ago. And at 20, I was not thinking about investing in properties and any of that stuff. My money was going toward college festivities. I'll put that there. I wasn't saving any money either in college. You know what I mean? I wasn't saving any money. I was not even thinking about real estate. Real estate was never on my mind. I wanted to go be a fighter pilot. I wanted to be a fighter pilot. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be, and I was also studying architecture. Fighter pilot, architecture. I wasn't thinking about investing in real estate. Now, if I had to go back and tell myself, 10 years ago, one thing I would tell myself is start saving money. Start saving money, right? And even if it starts with an emergency fund, you need that, right? That money that you're going to get at graduation when you graduate college, because you will, right? We're going to claim it. This damn son. That money you get when you graduate college from all your friends and family that give you money for graduating college, save that money. Save that money. Start your emergency fund ASAPidly, right? Because once you start your emergency fund and let's say you want to have $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 saved up in an emergency fund in case things go awry or whatever, right? Once you have that money saved up, you set it into an account and you leave it alone and you start saving again. Now you know that if anything goes wrong, I can cover myself because I have an emergency fund, right? Everything else that you save after that should go toward investments, right? So if you're 20 years old, get some credit. You're going to need credit. You're going to need credit, right? You're going to need a credit history, right? You can't buy a house with zero credit. It's not going to happen. Right? You can't borrow loans with zero credit. You know what I mean? So if you're 20 years old and you're in college and you don't have a credit card, get your credit card. Now, I'm not too savvy when it comes to different types of credit cards and all that kind of stuff, but get you a credit card with a limit. Maybe it's $100 or maybe it's $500, right? And you go use you use that card to go buy groceries or gas. Right? Small expenses, and you pay that off every single month, and you start accumulating some credit. Because once you get out of school, right, you're going to go move somewhere, or even if you're, in school, you want to go buy a house, guess what? You got to have some established credit, right? Now, there's other things that you can do right now, too, as well, if you're in college, right? There's people that do this. You can start wholesaling. Doesn't require a bunch of money, doesn't require credit, doesn't require agent license. You can start wholesaling, right? And accumulating funds, right? What you need is money. You need a stack of money, right? And you can do that by wholesaling in college, right? That's a good idea. And in order to do that, I mean, if you have the time, do some research into wholesaling. I think that'll be a great idea to do while you're in school, because let's say you wholesale a property and your assignment fee is $5,000. What college kid doesn't want $5,000? And you create a system and you wholesale on the side, right? You get an assignment fee for $2,000, $5,000, $20,000, whatever the case may be. You can essentially write your own ticket, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do at the ripe age of 20. Even 30 is still young, but there's some things that you should be doing now to set yourself up for the future. Is establishing some credit and saving some and saving some money, right? Establishing credit, saving some money. Whether you want to buy a house now or down the road, you're gonna need credit and you're gonna need money. Hope that helped. But appreciate you for coming in here and asking that question. Rashaad Draco. Sneaker Feed says, hey, my favorite investor. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are my favorite audience. Who else? Josh Thor Jones. How you doing? Appreciate you popping in here. Elena's in the house. Hello, Elena. Lexi was good. Rashaad Draco says, blessed. Thank you for the advice. Much appreciated. Thank you for asking the question. Guys, this is Real Estate Q&A Sessions week 84. You guys can come ask anything, everything real estate related. I am on a time constraint, so I probably will be on here for maybe another 5 minutes or 10 minutes. If you guys got any questions, I will do my best to answer within that time frame. I do have to roll. We are in the middle of 3 jobs, and I need to go in the house and look at some accent tile that I have for a project, for a rehab that's going on. Yeah, I didn't give you guys an update. If you guys didn't know, I closed on a house last week Monday, another flip. If you guys haven't seen it, I did post a video on my feed of the house. You guys pop in there and give me some recommendations on the rehab. I have not started it yet, but I will be in the next week or so to get that thing going. And I like to get you guys' perspective, because you guys, if you guys haven't flipped a property before, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen HD TV and all that kind of stuff. You guys have all these wild ideas of what you want to do when you flip a house. Well, guess what? I'm taking some recommendations. So before I start that house, guess what? I want to get some advice. Hey, should I do this? Should I do that? What color schemes? All that kind of stuff. Go check out the video and let me know what you guys think. All right. Outside of that, there is, I thought I had one more update, but I don't think I do at the time. No, I don't. So yeah, outside of that, guys, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. Probably give it another couple minutes here before we depart, unless you guys have anything else to add. Again, I am on a busy schedule today, and I have like 3 or 4 stops that I need to make, but I had to take time to give you guys, these gems, if you will. What's going on, brother? So yeah, outside of that, I'm good. I don't have anything else going on outside of projects. If you guys are in the city of Baltimore and you guys want to pull up and check out a project, I am more than willing to show you guys what I got going on. Not many people pull up. They want to meet up with me and they want to see what's going on, but not many people do. So I'm giving this invitation. If you guys would like to, please feel free to hit me up in my DM and let me know if you want to link up and see some of these projects and see what I got going on a daily basis. I'm at the point now where I need to hire somebody. I've been saying that for months and months and months and months. Been saying that for months. Need to hire somebody. So if you're looking for a job, not a full-time job, if you're looking for a job, let me know. All right. Outside of that, doesn't seem like we have any more questions, which is fine, right? I understand. You can. Hey, that's completely fine with me. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh. Hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving break. I did. I hope you guys took my advice by taking a break and spending time with your people, because that is important. So yeah, we're off and running. It's the last month of the year. Guys, go out strong. You can have New Year's resolutions and all that great stuff, but set it now. Set those resolutions now. Start now. You know what I mean? Everybody likes to start off hot in the beginning of the year and then they taper off, right? With their expectations and their goals, right? This year I had a bunch of goals, and I think I hit at least half of them. I didn't hit all of them, but I hit at least half of them. So yeah, go ahead and start working on those resolutions now. If next year is when you want to buy a property, start preparing now. Start preparing now. You know what I'm saying? The market is still hot. The market is still ready. And you're not going to do anything if you don't go and do it. I keep telling you guys this. Action, 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 action. You come in here and listen to me every week. That's not what I want from you guys. I want you guys to come and listen, but also go apply, right? Look at Snickerfing. Comes here every week. Went out and applied. Ali, I know Ali's out here in these streets. He's listening and he's applying, right? Everybody else, you guys got to get out there and do this stuff. You don't learn unless you do. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Guys, please take time and appreciate your family, your loved ones. Make time for them. We're all on borrowed time, and you don't want to take advantage of the time that they have here and vice versa. All right. RIP Dolph. I will see y'all next week. Peace, love, and happiness.